Hello, everybody, and welcome to Journey with Jones at the Livingston Parish Library. My name is Amanda Jones. I am the school librarian at Live Oak Middle School.
And I'm Miss Danielle. I am the Youth Services Coordinator at the Watson Branch Library in Watson.
And today we're going to be discussing, or we're going to be taking a virtual trip to forest habitats to go along with the Livingston Parish Library's summer reading theme, Tales and Tales. If you would like a copy of this presentation to explore the links on your own, you can, in the YouTube comments below, you can access the presentation, or you can scan the QR code to the left right here on the screen, and that will bring you to the presentation. So let's get started. We are going to be exploring temperate and boreal forest habitats today. Now, we've already done a virtual trip to rainforests, so we're not going to be talking about rainforests today. We're going to be talking about a different type of forest. Now, forest habitats cover about, I forgot the exact percentage, but they are the predominant ecosystem on our planet. Most of our planet is covered by forests. There are three main types. There are rainforests, boreal forests, and temperate forests. Temperate forests have average temperatures depending on the area. They have their highs and lows, but they maintain a pretty steady temperature. And they include coniferous forests and deciduous forests. Now, coniferous forest is a forest that with trees that have cones, coniferous, and deciduous is flowering trees, like your maples, your beeches, your oaks, things like that. Boreal forest is at a colder temperature and is mostly coniferous. So we're going to look at those types of forests today. Now, forests help the ecosystem because trees convert carbon dioxide into oxygen and help regulate the climate. They provide home to animals. We're going to look at several animals today. They provide lumber for commerce and can be a source for human recreation. I know that I like to go visit a lot of our forests and hike and stuff like that. So we're going to look at several different types of forests today. The first forest that we're going to look at today is the Sequoia National Park. Now, let me talk to you first about this website. So this website is a website called 360cities.net. And the cool thing about this website is that if you have a phone or device, you can create a little cardboard viewer and you can click this link right here and watch all of this that I'm showing you in VR, which is pretty cool. And you can do that at home. You can watch it in VR. Today, we're just looking at it on the computer, though. So this is the Sequoia National Park. Look how large this tree is. See, these are people right here, and this is a tree that has fallen. And I'm going to kind of span around. And while I'm spinning around, tell you a little bit about this forest. Now, one thing about this website, if you see these arrows, you can click on these, and that will take you to other images from the same park. So you can go and look at different vantage points. Now, this Sequoia National Park was established in 1890, and it is in Southern California. Now, it's famous for its giant sequoia trees. And in fact, the largest tree on Earth, which is called General Sherman, is located in this park. We can look down. We can look up. You can look how they're very, very tall trees. Now, in fact, this park or this forest contains 5 of the 10 largest trees on the planet. I've always wanted to go here. Maybe one day I'll get out to California, right? Like, it's so pretty. And if any librarians are watching this, you can actually Skype a forest ranger here, and they will take you around the park. We've done that in Live Oak Middle School. This park contains, like I said, 5 of the 10 largest trees on the planet. And this is actually a small tree compared to some of them. It's 631 square miles, and animals that live in this forest include coyotes, badgers, black bears, bighorn sheep. There are 11 different species of woodpecker, and there's also some cougars there. All right, so that is Sequoia National Park. The next forest we're going to look at is Black Forest in Germany. And again, this is 360cities.net, so you could watch it in VR if you so chose to do that. We're going to look at it on the laptop. This picture kind of looks a little spooky because of the fog.
I love it.
Like I can see like librarians that live here doing like a little ghost story programming. But this is a large forest in southwest Germany. It's 2,320 square miles. Now, this is a deciduous forest. So it's got a lot of flowering trees like oak, maple, beech, There are some fir trees in this forest, and I'm just spinning around as I talk about it. Now, this forest is famous because they use a lot of wood from this black forest in Germany to make cuckoo clocks, which Germany is known for. And actually, my grandfather was in World War II, and he brought back a cuckoo clock that is made out of wood from the Black Forest. So that's pretty cool. That's just a side note from Miss Jones. But this is
I've always wanted one.
Right?
I'm obsessed with them.
And it still works. Like, it's hanging and it works and everything. But this forest, I've never personally, I've been to Germany, but I've never personally been to this forest. But it's a very pretty forest. It is home to the giant earthworm, which I thought was pretty neat. It's also home to a specific species of cattle called Black Forest cattle. Also eagles, bears, rabbits, the typical animals that you would find in a forest. So that is the Black Forest in Germany. The next forest we're going to look at is the Olympic Forest. And it is, let's see, there we go. Now look at it. It's a lot different than Black Forest in Germany. It has a lot of growth on the ground. But Olympic National Forest is 1,580 square miles. Let's see if we can look up top. That's the top. And it gets 220 inches of water per year. It is in Washington State. And if you're a reader of the Twilight series, they filmed a lot of Twilight in this area. But it was established, this national park was established in 1897. And it is the home to forest animals such as elk, beaver, mink, salmon. They have a lot of salmon in the rivers in this forest, and northern spotted owls, which is a specific species that flourishes in this forest. So that is the Olympic National Forest in Washington State, not Washington, D.C., Washington State. And the last forest we're going to look at, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, is Hallerbos Forest. Let's look at it. Now, you might notice these pretty flowers on the bottom. This forest is known for the bluebells that grow along the carpet of this forest, very pretty bluebells. So every spring, visitors come to this forest to take a look at the bluebells in this forest, and you can see it looks a lot different from the Olympic Forest. It is a 1,360 acre forest in Belgium. Now, something that happened in this forest, during World War I, they actually cut down almost every single tree in this forest during World War I. But between 1930 and 1950, they reforested this forest. They planted new trees. That's why all of the trees are a little smaller. They're not as big as some of the trees in the other forests we look at because they are relatively new compared to the trees in other forests. It is home to hares, rabbits, foxes, polecats, and deer. And that is the Hallerbos Forest in Germany. So those were some forests. Now let's take a look at some of the wildlife in these forests. We're going to look at some... What? Say that again?
I said that's my favorite part. I love animals.
Right? The animals. The animals are my favorite part. Yeah. And we're going to first look at deciduous forest animals. And this is a really cool website, courtesy of PBS, and it talks about deciduous forests. But we're going to talk about some of the animals down here. The first one we're going to talk about is porcupines. Now, I didn't realize how large porcupines are. They're actually quite large. I've never seen one in person. So when I started reading about it, it's like, oh, they're very large animals. So porcupines are a large rodent. They typically live in forests. They're covered in quills. There are two specific families of porcupines. The old world porcupines live in like your Southern Europe, Asia, and Africa, and they are large terrestrial nocturnal animals. The New World porcupines are indigenous to North America and northern South America. So you've got your porcupines overseas and your porcupines here. Two different families of porcupines. I didn't know that. But they live in wooded areas. They love to climb in trees. Also didn't know that. They love to climb in trees. They usually spend their entire lives up in trees. I read that somewhere too. I always thought of them as like walking around a lot, but they hang out in trees a lot. I guess I've never seen one in the wild, so I didn't know that. They can be up to 3 feet long and weigh up to 35 pounds. So I kind of want to see one in real life, but I kind of also don't want to because I don't want to get quilled. But that is the porcupine. The next animal we're going to talk about are red foxes. So this is the red fox. And red fox, I thought that they would all be red, but no, they can also be black and they can also be white. They are the largest type of fox. So there's all different sorts of foxes that live in a forest habitat, but the red fox is the largest. They're very plentiful, so they're not endangered. There's tons of them everywhere in the forest. They're known for adapting very quickly to new environments. So when a forest is deforested and buildings move in, they're very easily adaptable. They live and travel as pairs or as a family. So if you see one, there's probably another one or several other ones nearby. They eat small animals and vegetation, and that is the red fox. And I think those are so cute.
Oh, yeah.
So the next animals we're going to talk about live in a coniferous forest. And let's see, what animals are we going to talk about first? Let's talk about the owl. So the great gray owl. Look at that. They have actually this sphere. The feathers are in like a circular pattern, and that actually helps with their hearing. They have very, very good hearing. The gray owl is actually the largest owl by length. They're known for their gray face and their yellow eyes, which I find kind of creepy, but they're beautiful but creepy at the same time. They have an average wingspan of 4.5 feet, which my mom is 4.5 feet tall. So they have a wingspan as long as my mom is tall. They live in boreal forests in colder areas of North America. And they do not build their own nests. So they will actually take over the nests of other birds like eagles and vultures and things, and they will take over old nests of other birds. They don't build their own nests, but they have excellent hearing and they mostly eat small rodents. We're also going to talk about the wolverine. Let's talk about the wolverine. So Wolverine, you've probably heard of the name Wolverine because of X-Men, but Wolverine has a reputation for being a very fierce creature and known for its strength, which I guess is why they call the character from X-Men Wolverine, because he's fierce and known for his strength. They are documented and known to kill animals up to 4 times their size. They're very fierce when they attack. They're muscular. They are a solitary animal, so they usually live alone by themselves. They're about the size of a medium-sized dog. They're known for their thick, dark, oily fur, and people will often use their fur to line winter coats and raincoats and things like that because they're water repellent. They pretty much eat anything. They will eat anything from small rodents all the way up to deer. They'll attack and eat a deer. But that is the wolverine. And the last thing I want to show you is there's a link on here for a live owl webcam. And I love looking at live animal webcams. So there's a link here. So if you're interested, you can go and you can watch this 24 hours a day if you want to. I like to put these animal webcams up in the Live Act Middle School library and let the students watch. But you can sit here and you can watch the different owls and watch them at the San Diego Zoo. And these are burrowing owl cams. Now, I put some other resources on this presentation. If you're interested, there's also a video. And I'd also like to recommend a few books. If you are interested in a fiction book that takes place in the forest, this middle grade book, Willa of the Wood by Robert Beatty, is a must read. If you're interested in reading about food chains and food webs, this book, Food Chains in the Forest Habitat. And then for the littles, we have this book called My Little Forest. And all of these books are available for checkout at the Livingston Parish Public Library. And now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Danielle, and she's going to talk about some of the programming.
Okay, so this video is going to premiere in July, so we do have a few things coming up in July. We have our teen movie night. We're going to be showing Onward on July 8th and July 30th. For the showing for July 8th is at 5:30, and the showing for July 30th is at 2 p.m. We also have another program called Animal Amigurumi on July 22nd at 5:30 p.m. And I'm going to kind of explain a little bit about what that is because not everybody knows what amigurumi is. Amigurumi is a style of crochet. And some of my kids who might be watching right now know I am a very prolific crocheter and knitter, and I like to make a lot of things out of yarn. So I'm going to be teaching a crochet workshop where we're going to make a stuffed animal because with amigurumi, it's a style where you can make. Oh, here's my camera. Cute little stuffed animal. So we're actually going to make this little whale. Oh, I'm having trouble with my camera. Yeah, so we're going to learn the basic stitches of crochet and how to make this little whale, and it's going to be lots and lots of fun. So everybody's gonna if you have time to come and register, absolutely do that because it's gonna be so much fun. But if you can't, I'm also gonna be doing a workshop at the main branch library at the end of July. I think on May 30th is the day. I should have put that in here, but I think it's on May 30th. I mean, not May. We're already past May. July. Yes. My kids at my library know that I'm really, really silly. And they're like, Miss Danielle, you want to rethink what you just said? Think about that a little bit. So yeah, that's something we're going to be doing. We also have some performers coming to the library. Lady Chops is coming July 8th at 10 a.m. She's amazing. Definitely check her out if you can. The Dinosaur Experience is on July 13th at 10 a.m. And then we have Animal Tales and Tales on July 26th. There's a showing at 1:30 p.m. and another one at 2:45 p.m. So it's going to be lots of fun. Also, I just want to go ahead and say, because I know a lot of Miss Amanda's demographic is kids between like 8 and 11, middle school sort of age kids. Our Watson branch, which is right down the street from the Live Oak Middle Library, is going to be premiering a new program called Teen Hangout. And our first day is going to be on August the 26th at 5:30. And basically what I want to do with, sorry, not Teen Hangout, Tween Hangout, is I want to encourage the, middle school age kids to come by to the library, hang out, have some snacks. We'll play some board games, play some video games, and just kind of chill out and have fun. So because I've had a lot of kids in this age demographic like really want to come to things like anime club and they can't because they're not quite old enough. So I've decided to create this program for those of you who like want to do all the fun teenage things, but you're not quite old enough yet.
That sounds perfect. That sounds perfect. And I think they're going to really enjoy doing that.
I hope so.
Remind me when it's time and I will push it out on our Live Oak Middle social media pages.
Thank you.
And our last virtual trip of the summer is going to be on August 6th, and we will be exploring mountain habitats. That will be the last virtual trip of the summer. But if you're interested in looking at any of the virtual trips, you can find the presentations and the links on our Live Oak Middle Library website under the Journey with Jones link. But you can also find them at the Livingston Parish Library's Instagram and Facebook pages. You can follow us on social media. It has been a wonderful time today looking at forest habitats, and we hope you will tune in for our last one of the summer next week. All right, and it is time to go. So bye, everybody.